This is movie and a beer. Movie and a beer. Movie and a beer. Okay.
All right, you're good.
Okay, now we'll pause. Music. Dan, take us in.
Welcome to Movie and a Beer. This is Dan Kapersky. Thank you for joining us today. We have with us our two usual awesome co-hosts.
Superhero robot expert Blake here.
And movie experts on occasion, Randall.
Yay. So we were kind of figuring out what we wanted to watch for this episode. We had the beers beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
We have kind of a cream ale and then a pale ale, which none of us read the can before we opened it and then realized later that it had fruit in it. So it was
accurate.
A very interesting combination of two interesting, nice, smooth, cool beers with a movie which Randall suggested, which I'm really glad we watched. And that was
thank you, Randall.
Called Real Steel.
Real Steel, number 3, as of, what's today's date?
26th of
the
September
26th of
2020.
September.
Yes, it's
number
Saturday.
3 on Netflix.
Yeah, it's seriously getting a lot of traction on Netflix for some odd reason,
Yeah,
but it is actually not that bad of a movie.
Why. Yeah, I mean, it's not bad, but like number 3 and trending.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how the trending chart works. Is it by views or is it by clicks and people previewing it? I don't know. How does trending work?
Maybe they're just making it up.
They could.
Hit us up, Netflix. Tell us how it works. Tell us your deep, dark secrets.
Yeah, exactly.
Secret algorithms.
Please and thank you.
So the movie stars Hugh Jackman and another kid who, I don't know. You tell me. The child kind of stole the show, but I honestly think that Hugh Jackman really tried in this movie. As you had suggested, one of the backstories to this was that he read it to his son.
Oh, right. Hugh Jackman actually read the script to his actual kid, and the kid was so enamored with it, Hugh Jackman thought, well, yeah, okay, I'll do this movie.
It was Hugh Jackman and Anakin Skywalker, I believe, were the two actors.
Yeah.
From Phantom Menace.
Phantom Menace,
Anakin Skywalker.
It looked like him. It really did look like him.
Yeah, it looked exactly like him.
The child actor was Dakota Goyo, Goyo, played Max Kenton. Also, Evangeline Lilly.
Yes.
Anthony Mackie was in it for a little bit.
Yes.
Another big role was Carl Yoon playing Tak Mashido.
Yes.
Those are the big names, I think. Everything else is kind of side character.
The thing that we really kind of freaked out about when we started watching this, we had no expectations. We didn't. Dude seriously looks just like young Anakin. He does.
Holy cow.
Randall pulled up pictures of him, and then we're like, let's look at the kid's picture. It's Steel. It's the Wikipedia page there, but whatever.
It's a REELSTEAL. That's a whole different movie.
It's a whole different movie.
But anyway, Dan, the premise: Hugh Jackman has a kid that he vaguely knew about.
Yes.
And is currently stuck with him as the mother passed away, which is off screen. Not that, a bummer, but not as sad as you think.
The preliminary plot.
Mm-hmm. He makes a deal with the sister of the mother to have the kid for the summer and then, relinquish him back over so they can go on some trip or whatever. But over the movie, he and the kid start bonding because that's what you do in a movie about fighting robots is bond with your child that you didn't know about.
Because he plays video games and knows how to fight with them and has watched every match 15 times.
Yes, the kid is a robot boxing expert.
Yep. Twitter says it's the same person.
Well, you can go to IMDb and probably figure it out pretty easily. But they do. There's
IMDb lies.
There's a Twitter hashtag all over you made him take a double take.
Yeah.
Because you're like, is it young Anakin? That is young Anakin. It literally looks just like him. It's crazy. So you have this kid, and basically, unbeknownst to the kid and the mom, well, the kid figured it out within like 30 seconds. So basically, Hugh Jackman's character is like, hey, I need $50,000. You pay me some money, and I'll take the kid off your hands while you go on your vacation.
To Italy, I think? Yeah.
It's like, okay, so you have the kid over the summer, comes back. They come back in September. They get the kid back. We're happy. We couldn't quite tell where the film takes place other than like Chicago and Detroit, and it looked like Midwest cities.
According to IMDb, it was filmed a lot in Michigan.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
A lot of country scenes with this big sort of semi-looking thing running down the road.
Very ugly semi.
Yeah, but it's interesting. So it takes place in the future, but it's not very far into the future.
No. The director wanted to do that on purpose.
Yeah.
Apparently.
So it's alternate reality kind of You know, they have
love that
fighting
stuff.
robots instead of, and they actually talk a little bit about the robot progression, because how does he get the smaller, crazy looking, younger looking robot? Well, it's actually
in a
trash.
dumpster.
It's
basically,
in a dumpster.
it was a G2, I think. They have generations of boxing robots, which has taken over normal boxing, I think, because
Yeah.
Hugh Jackson's character used to box.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. That's the insight.
This is interesting because a couple nights previous to this, I watched a Twilight Zone episode
Really?
from the 60s.
Ooh.
And the premise was... What was the premise? Let me see if I can pull it up here. In the future, boxing is performed by mechanical robots.
Oh my God, they ripped off an episode.
The episode is even called Steel.
Deal.
Jeez.
Wow.
That's
A
why the
little
movie.
weird, right? Like, I'm questioning, like...
That's why the movie's called
Is this
Real
really
Steel.
Is this really number 3 in the United States Netflix, or did I just happen to watch an episode called
You
Steel?
just happened to watch something and now it's up there as number 3. But anyway, so check out the previews. If you're on Netflix, it's up there. You can see it real easily.
Yeah.
The film has some violence in it. There's some aggression with adults beating each other up. You know, so it's not necessarily a young kid movie. So
I would solidly put this as a perfect film for 11 to 14-year-olds. Like, too violent for young kids, a little Disney-fied cheesy for adults, but not like to the point where you're like, ugh, whatever. It's
cheesy.
It's good. I really enjoyed it. It's just...
It was formulaic,
Yeah.
but done well-ish
I'd
because
agree
of the
with that.
quality of the actors.
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry. The Wasp, she was really good in it.
Yeah,
Oh, Evangeline Lilly's an amazing actress. Just...
Her crying was believable.
Yeah.
Well, fun trivia that I just now made up. They shot her with a stun gun to make her cry on set.
Oh.
So, again, trivia I made up.
Yes, we're good like that. We can just make it up as we go.
We're fun.
Favorite robot ever? Blake.
Of all time?
All time.
The main robot from Pacific Rim.
Yeah.
Boy. Whatever the main Jaeger was called.
That was a good movie.
That
That was a
dope.
good one. We haven't watched that one yet.
Randall?
Voltron.
Ooh, Voltron is good.
Ooh.
Composite robot.
That's a good call. All lions. Daniel?
Yep.
There's so many to pick from.
Right?
I'm gonna go with what was the one that were lions that joined together?
That's Voltron.
Was that Voltron? I thought Voltron was
They're all
robots.
lions.
Okay, so Voltron's the lion one, and that's the one that I would say I really appreciate that one. But there is some other ones that are honorable mentions, which I'm gonna have to look up on my phone because I can't think of the names of.
Well, my honorable mentions are Gizmo Duck from DuckTales.
Well, you're watching that series, so I understand that.
Yeah, Lin-Manuel Miranda plays Gizmo Duck in the reboot. The current era DuckTales.
Oh, very
which
nice.
is pretty fun. Yeah.
Very cool.
The Power Zord, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers robot, that's another favorite of mine.
Those are all good robots.
The robot from iRobot, voiced by Alan Tudyk, also good.
I like Wall-E.
Ooh. Okay, yeah, you win.
Wally's great.
Because I mean, if we're talking anime or real life robots or like
Wall-E.
the Gundam that they're building in Japan right now, the 50-foot reel robot.
I will drive that Gundam.
It's suspended, so it's not actually on the ground, so it's not full weight on the ground, but it can do all the actions, like it can kneel and then stand up. It can do poses. It can move its head and its
Can it
arms
strike
separately.
down the evil alien that's invading
It's
Tokyo?
gonna have to at some point. I bet.
Yeah. So yeah, overall the movie is
A-okay.
fun watch.
The music was cheese.
Oh, the music. There were two Eminem
Music
tracks.
was not great.
And there was really interesting product placement. We also talked about not just beer, because, you know, the first opening scene is
Budweiser.
you see Budweiser bottles flopping
yum.
around and him drinking a warm one. And you're just like, oh, that's gross.
At like 10 a.m.
Yeah, he's like,
That's the perfect time to drink a Budweiser.
He's like, oh, it's breakfast. And then there was Dr. Pepper product placement, but they were actually not, they just got permission to use it. They didn't actually get paid.
yeah, apparently it was a non-monetary deal, according to IMDb, which
You see it a few times in the film, though.
yeah, you might as well just get paid for it, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Although there was an HP drop that I appreciated. That was pretty well done.
Yeah.
Another one when they were in one of the rings, because that's boxing.
Yes.
Advertise stuff while you're getting punched.
And it looked like video game boxing, like the different matches and the different arenas that they went to while they were training the training robot on how to fight, and then doing some lower ranked matches to get practice. And Yeah, I mean, it was a good film. I enjoyed it. So, Randall, you've been awfully quiet. You're looking up a lot of trivia.
I'm
over
just
here.
looking. I just wanted to know what won. It looks like The King's Speech won in 2011 for Best Picture.
Yeah.
That classic robot movie, The King's Speech.
Yeah.
I am giving a speech.
And then I was thinking we should live stream this episode, but we kind of forgot to do that
Yeah, it's all right.
on Instagram. But the next episode, folks,
We're going to live stream. It's gonna be
we're just gonna live stream.
I'll do that right now if you need me to. It's been a year.
I think it'd be fun.
We'll put it up
Yes.
because we need people to make fun of us because otherwise we take
Totally.
ourselves too seriously.
Totally.
I don't know if I need that.
I think this is a good spot for a commercial break. Let me cue up some music. Beep boop bop boop beep. And now Blake, give us a commercial.
Hey, welcome to Fighting Frank's Robot Shop. You want a robot that folds laundry? Forget about it. You want a robot that prepares an omelet? Forget about it. You want a robot that shaves your legs? We actually have those, but really we got robots that fight. We got big robots, little robots, punchy robots, kick robots. We got robots that do Krav Maga. That's right, Krav Maga. Come down to Frank's Frightened Robot Emporium on exit 32 off the highway in your local city.
Yes.
I love it.
Neo Tokyo.
Neo Tokyo, Texas.
All right. Welcome back. Thanks for listening, everyone. This is our Movie and a Beer episode covering the film Real Steel.
Real Steel.
Let's talk about beers.
All right.
Real beers.
We, as mentioned earlier in the episode, we had the beers selected and actually had been sitting in my beer fridge for quite a while, a few months. And these were the last sets that I had bought at the not to be named large box store up in Vancouver, Washington that has the word total and the word wine in the title. But we're not going to give them any shouts out because, they're not paying us anything.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Partial
anyway.
spirits.
Yeah. So we had two beers that basically we ended up with cream ale called California Creamin'. It's a vanilla cream ale from Mother Earth Brewing, which Nampa, I think that's how you pronounce it, out of Idaho, which is like a suburb of Boise.
Right.
But they're based actually out of Vice, California. I think that's what it was called.
Which one is this?
So the Cal Creaming.
The
Mother
Cali-
Earth Brewing.
Cali
That
Creamin'.
was the first one we had, and that was actually it was considered a flagship ale. They have a really nice cereal cracker base. This does have vanilla bean in it. I don't know where it was added.
I feel like I tasted the vanilla when I drank it. It tasted like a dessert beer almost.
It did. So it was kind of reminiscent of like those orange push-ups. That kind of flavor profile, but it really wasn't orange, it was just vanilla. So it's kind of like if you had a vanilla push-up that had like real vanilla bean in it, that's kind of what it was like. Kind of sweet, a little dry on the back, but not bad.
I loved it.
It was very nice and thin. It was not very heavy. It's got a really light color, full white head, frothy. The carbonation stood up a little bit. It wasn't bad.
It was really tasty. I feel like it matched the beginning of the movie pretty well. It was. Yeah. I could see drinking this after like a big dinner and just hanging out, watching a show or just like a comfort show.
Yeah.
If you're going to watch a fun movie, drink a fun beer.
Yeah.
That's a fun beer.
Yeah. I would definitely, I think we all give 3 thumbs up on this beer.
Yeah. What about the other one?
About half hour, 45 minutes into the film, we switched over to the second beer.
Something like that.
Because we were nursing. We're trying, because we're like, we only have one each. So, enjoy them while you can.
Exactly.
So the second one is by Black Raven Brewing, which they have a brewery located in Woodinville, Washington, which is a suburb of Seattle, basically. It's called Kitty Cat Blues.
Such a cool can cover.
It is really cool. It's got a raven on the, big black raven, blue background. You'll see on the other side of the can, there's a black cat in a cage and the raven holding the key above it. It's like, I'm teasing you, ha ha. But surprisingly,
Dan, do you mean caca?
Caca.
I don't get it.
So,
How dare you?
Really good, clean Washington beer. This is also a pale ale, which is similar to a cream ale, but maybe a little bit more hoppy.
A little more bite.
A little bit more. You're drinking a pale ale. But this one, surprisingly, had the addition of vanilla, hibiscus, and blueberries, which we did not realize. We did not expect that.
Yeah,
until we
that was a
started
fun
drinking it.
Surprise.
I was shocked. I did not realize. I was like, oh, this is a fruit beer. But it was more not really fruity up front until it started warming up, like you mentioned.
Yeah, it was okay to start, but once it started getting warm, it was real tasty. You could really catch the blueberries and all the flavors.
No, you've got some interesting trivia there about the name.
Somebody asked me this question.
Why the name Black Raven?
In the mythology of many indigenous tribes in the Northwest, the raven is seen as a cultural hero. A revered and benevolent, transformative figure, the raven helps people, blesses them with gifts, and shapes the world. But at the same time, he is frivolous. He is a frivolous trickster, a light-hearted prankster who is sometimes gluttonous and impatient. Okay. The raven is our totem. The raven as our totem works perfectly. We like to think we are creative, wise, playful, and a bit bird-brained, just like those wacky ravens.
Really?
All right, two things. One, the phrase wacky ravens needs to be used more often in my day-to-day life.
Wacky ravens.
Wacky ravens, race cars. And two, you just read my story, man. What have you been doing?
That's a cliff notes of the story.
I'm clearly...
I'm going to mark this. Where is it?
Because this is actually really interesting. So
It's awesome.
I had actually not heard of this brewery before, so I'm really glad. I actually not heard of either of them. When I bought the cans, I intentionally I'm going to find some stuff I'd never had before, never heard of. So
and listeners, when Dan hasn't heard of a brewery, that's a big deal.
I know a lot of stuff.
I jump at the chance to try a beer from a brewery that Dan's never heard of.
Yeah, so I'm really glad that I purchased these. They definitely hit the spot. Like as Blake was mentioning, you let this Black Raven warm up just a little bit, just at tepid. So you want to have it cold when you start and then let it warm a little bit.
Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily want it to start out a little warm because it's better if you taste it at the beginning and then you're like, okay, I can kind of get those flavor profiles, and then they start expressing themselves a lot more and opening up, and it's just beautiful. It's like whiskey, but with beer.
That's a good point. I was going to argue that you let it warm up and then drink it warm the whole way, but I hadn't thought of letting it get multiple kinds of taste profiles going on while you watch a movie that might change genres as you go.
Yeah. So definitely
Nice.
big thumbs up on both of these beers.
Yeah.
Randall, did you have any thoughts on this beer other than you? I know you liked it.
Yeah, it was very shocking in a good way. But I thought it went well with the movie.
Yeah.
I like blueberries. I like their website. I like ravens, which are not crows, by the way, according to the website.
There is a difference.
There's a difference. I want to submit a question to them and ask them what their favorite movie is, but it keeps bringing me up to this email. I don't want to use this.
You don't want to send them an email.
I want to send them this.
Listeners, spam their website with questions about what their favorite movie is.
Because we tag them. We tag them when we post. So it's really interesting. At some point in time, maybe a brewery will get back to us, but it's nice. I mean, we do try to reach out to some of them.
Yeah.
I know we're still in contact with some of the local breweries around Portland that we were already in talks with, and some tap rooms and places that we're still going to try to do a live episode before the end of the year.
Yep.
We have that goal.
Yes.
We can do it.
We were all aware of that goal all the time, the whole time.
We can get the place. We had one place that said they would close down for us. And it would just be like the employees and us. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool.
That's amazing. Do it.
Like, and free beer tasting? Sure. Hell yeah. All right.
Let's do it.
So, yeah. Real Steel, a couple of tasty beers.
Yeah. Find a lighter beer style. Doesn't have to be sour. Doesn't have to be a cream ale. But something lighter, something that you'll enjoy. Because this is a lighthearted film.
Yeah, the movie gets sort of heavy a couple of points, but overall it's like a easy watch.
It's not a little kid movie. It's like a teenager movie. But yeah.
Perfect for these dark times we're going through.
Okay, let's take a look at what else is on the top 10 on Netflix right now.
All right, Jurassic World, Smurfs 2.
What would you drink with
Blacklist?
Coco Melon?
Thank you for naming that one.
Coco Melon.
Paint thinner.
Yeah, it's a kid show. I'm not going to be watching that kid show anytime soon. It's that creepy 3D animation stuff. But anyway.
What about Cobra Kai? What would you drink?
Cobra Kai, something classic.
Yeah,
like it's
PBR.
referencing a classic. Yeah, PBR.
Tecate.
I would drink more of this.
Obviously,
Cali Creamin with.
Yeah.
I could do that. I could see like a lager with a Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
Nothing really like super heavy. Something like just sip.
Yeah.
How about the Great British Baking Show?
Porter.
Oh no, I wouldn't even do
a thick, cakey porter
stout. Maybe a dessert stout would go really nice and sweet and super rich because they always dump tons of fat and things and everything they make.
Dan, that's a good brew.
Yes.
It's a bad bake and a good brew.
I was either going to say that or really, 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 really nice complex sour. That's not funky.
I
like
guess.
a kettle sour.
Yeah,
because it's
okay.
going to be bright and floral
Yeah.
Yeah,
sometime,
I could
and
see
you get
that.
I'm leaning towards that heavy beer, man.
I'd do both. I'd mix them
Oh God.
because that's something we haven't talked about yet on the podcast is mixing beers, which I've done before. And
That's gonna
scary.
be a special episode where Blake doesn't go to work for the next few days.
Yeah. Here, let's mix this one and this one.
There's a lot of stuff.
Ooh,
on
Spider-Man
Netflix.
into the Spider-Verse. Anything? 'Cause the movie's amazing.
Yeah. Well.
Ooh,
Okay.
Community.
So
Sorry. We're going off track.
Yeah, we're a little off track. So thanks for listening, everybody. We all really, I think, enjoyed the film Real Steel. Big thumbs up for Black Raven Kitty Cat Blues and the Mother Earth Brewing Company in Cowley Creamin.
Agreed.
If you have questions, check out our website. Send us an email. Find us on Instagram, on
We'll be live streaming
the
soon.
Facebook. Yeah, we'll try to expand and do additional things because we're all, we have things to do. But, this is cool too. It's a great hobby. We love doing it. So, as always, we recommend that you hydrate and drink plenty of water while you imbibe and enjoy things while you watch your films and shows.
Beep boop, hydrate or dihydrate. Beep
Yeah.
boop bop boop.
Pretty much. So,
Take care of your robots.
yeah,
people.
take care of your robots. So-
Hydrate or dihydrate your robots.
Yes. So this has been, a really fun podcast episode. I'm really enjoying it. And I do need to just put the disclaimer out there that the opinions expressed during the taping of this show are those of the hosts. And thank you again for listening in. And this is Dan signing off. And we have
Randall.
Blake will sign off when he feels like it, which is
right.
now.
All right.
Goodbye, Blake.
Take care, everyone. Thanks for listening.